You owe me ice cream. I don't think she got the the meme. I feel like the wheels in that car is super fucked. Mods is lag. What? No, okay. I don't know how I didn't die. GTA RP mods are cringe. Alright, buddy. Buddy old pal. Said the snow mutt.
Did you like fail the academy or something?
We can make it back in time? No, we're 1 minute late. Fuck. RP frogs are the most cringe. That we can all agree on. Alright, I'm gonna take a leak before I go in. Pee break!
If you haven't seen civilian oversight stuff, is the voting is starting in like a couple hours. Are you still good with clerks being? Yeah, I'll get with Crane on that. I just make sure you were still good with that general setup.
Yeah, I don't mind giving them more work to do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Licenses didn't really pan out as much as I thought they would.
I mean, look, once I've figured it out, but once like the vast majority of people figure it out, it's 70K for one gun as the upfront cost. I think most people would rather put that towards something else, you know.
Yeah.
Just make more money. Do more G6.
Yeah.
Stop being poor.
Well, I mean, 70K, regardless how much money you have. I mean, would you rather have a gun or?
I guess they didn't want to defend themselves that much, huh?
I guess not. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, would you ever have a gun or 5 innovations? Like, I don't know. Well, that's assuming they're in stock, but
Mm.
Would a cop rather have a civilian gun or a scout / car? I don't know, Nakota. You tell me.
If those are my only two options.
Well, I'm just going to show you like a civilian, like your first civilian gun is equivalent to like your scout, basically,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, like your first big purchase, I guess.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. And I'm still okay with the current status quo with the civilian gun market.
I had
Personally,
like a town hall thing yesterday, and one of them were like, "Well, we need PD to take us to turn in our like pay slips from senior buns." Like,
Oh my god, yeah.
why?
I don't.
Like, I get
I
you
don't
get
think
robbed.
they do.
They don't. You just fucking don't be dumb about it. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like Nakota, you would have some of these stats, but of the people who don't get a police response when they're dropping off Group 6 runs at the vault, how many of them actually get like fucked with?
Group 6.
So yeah, Group 6, like the biggest money runs, you know, they go to the vault, right? And when I was like doing the data stuff, they were like, it seemed like they were requesting you guys to be there like every fucking time they did it.
They still request it pretty frequently.
Right. So I'm saying when the cops don't respond to that because you know they're busy, how many of them are actually getting fucked with?
I don't think. I think it's fallen off significantly from where it was because it was bad for a period of time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think senior buns is being the same. I think they're just being worry warts, or they have you know, survivor bias from you know, when people were messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, if you're worried that somebody's gonna rob you, just don't go in there by yourself, or just
Go
wait.
with a group of coworkers. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Just don't get robbed. Well, there is a thing though. I've not been robbed a single time. I feel like it's how you fucking traverse the city and what you do. Like, do you have to turn in your pay slips the second you leave send your buns, or do they stick around for a bit? Is my inventory still fucked? No, it should be fine now. Oh, Nakota.
Yes.
This Swedish prick that you guys hired?
Why are you saying you guys? I'm not in charge of hiring.
Okay, he's a yes, that guy. I swear to God, I will not use this position that I have, but he is testing my patience.
What is he doing?
He's being unprofessional as shit. That's what he's doing.
In what capacity?
Okay, first of all, my brother is apparently missing, which is a bit of a concern in itself.
What?
Yeah, Nick is missing. So we went to this fucking guy, and he were like, "Hey, this guy's missing." And he's, for some reason, he's like, okay, we're going to look at him or look for him under bridges because that is where the Danish trolls live. Okay. And then he proceeds to say that he, in terms of how much this guy matters, he's a 1 out of 5 in terms of like
What?
relevance compared to everyone else.
Ain't no way.
One being the worst, apparently.
If you really want to hit him where it hurts, legislate a time standard that isn't ISO.
I am this close. I am this. No, I had a meeting with the guy. I was like, okay, I will. When you force this through, I'm gonna appeal it. I just said that as a you know, for fun. I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
But and then I was at that meeting. You were there as well. I think Dakota, right? When I brought up the concern about the pictures. He was making offhand. He was making offhand comments again. Again, I don't mind a banter. It's not his fault. He was born Swedish. He's, you know, I feel bad for him, but
That is true. We shouldn't blame people where they were born.
no. But there's a time and a place, and that wasn't it. And neither is this. My brother is missing for 3 weeks. His life should be on the same, you know, value as everyone else.
I agree.
And
Did you file a complaint?
I talked to Slacks, but Slacks was checked out. So I'm going to talk to Barrick whenever he's awake.
Yeah, you should talk to anyone who's not Slacks if you need
Okay,
something
that's
handled.
good. Well, I don't think Slacks was paying much attention because he tried to repeat what I said to him, and it was just not what I said.
I just think that man tries to do too many things at once. So
Yeah, no, I am fed up with this unprofessionalism from this guy, and I want him dapped. Normally, I don't give a shit, but this is his third time. Third time.
All right, I hear you. So understandably frustrated.
Yeah, a little bit. Normally, I think you guys are professional. Normally, I think, you know, I'm not saying you guys are doing a terrible job, but this guy, this fucking prick, is making you guys look bad. You know what happened as well? Like, he called the fucking person that filed a missing report, and then he said, well, we're not going to look after we're not going to try to find your boyfriend anymore because the deputy mayor called me and was lippy. I was like, how the fuck am I lippy?
Wait, what?
Wait, he called
The person that filed a missing report was
to say
Veronica.
they weren't
Veronica,
gonna look
yeah.
for them because you were mean to him.
I talked to Viv. I wasn't even being mean. I was asking Viv, okay, Viv, where are you guys currently looking for my brother? And she was like, we're looking under bridges. I was like, okay, why specifically under bridges? And she replied with, well, that's where the Danish people live. I'm like, okay, so why
That's
is it that
uncalled for.
yeah? So why is it that Danish people live under the bridges? And apparently his response was, you know why. And I'm like, okay. I told her the same thing. Like, if he keeps it up, I'm going to have him dapped. And then he called Veronica and said, well, we're not going to look for him anymore because the deputy mayor was being lippy.
And no,
That's not how that works.
yeah, you're.
Oh, I love this.
Regardless, I will continue to. I'll look for your brother.
I will. I appreciate that.
How long has he been missing?
3 weeks.
What the fuck?
Yep. I got concerned after the first week. The second week, you know, like a bit more, and now it's 3 weeks. He's been missing, and this guy is not taking it serious. I definitely didn't notice that he was gone for 3 weeks. Shut the fuck up. Is he still in queue? Cade will find out about this. What do you mean Cade will find out about this? Find out about what? What? I'm concerned about my missing brother. Fuck off, Trev. Get out. Shoot. Cade woke up on the stir side of the bed today, yeah?
How long's Nick been missing?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Siobhan still.
Hey, Michael, who do I talk to about some railings?
Wedding suit.
About some what? Some railings?
Railings, yes.
So do you.
What? No.
Yep.
Yes. I think so the entire Ikea thing is just fucking dead in the water.
Oh, no, well, yeah, since Nick's missing, I'm sure that y'all are focused on that.
Yeah. I can check what the cost is.
Okay.
Ask, but I have no idea. I was never really
Does
part of
anyone
it.
have a mask for the mayor?
No.
You look like Vivek,
Yeah.
but the non-melanin version.
Yeah, you both look horrible.
I look like white
Okay.
Vivek.
Does anybody
Yes.
does anyone have a mask for me?
Nope.
I do.
It's okay, guys. It'll work out
Oh, wait,
in the
Alex
end.
does, okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Dakota looking sharp.
Oh, you
Looking
too.
good.
I like the bow
Yeah.
tie.
Thanks.
Bow tie
Yeah.
is nice. Yes.
A couple
Yep.
more times.
I'm the
Got
only
some
one
of
in like a
these.
casual
away
outfit.
wearing
I
them.
feel like I'm
no, there
standing
you go.
out.
I'm just not.
Really? Am I good?
You're not
Yeah, you're
goofy
good.
enough.
No, I wasn't gonna say
You,
goofy.
you gotta be goofier.
There you go.
I think I'm a
Yeah,
little
no
too
problem.
self-conscious probably for the bow tie
Thank
for the time
you.
being, but you look very dapper.
Thanks. I'm an old man. I get to wear old man stuff like bow ties.
What happened yesterday?
Yeah, I'm really sorry about your car. It's super cool though, by the way. Super
My
cool. car, though.
my entire everything
Was it-
it was just fucked.
How much money do I owe you?
I don't care about the money. How did you manage that?
She got a felony. Ooh.
How did you get what did you do?
No, I got a diversion program as a first-time offender,
You got
so
a
I don't actually have it
diversion.
on my MDT.
Yeah, I was gonna wait. So what happened?
What happened? I went to go north to return your car back to your house,
Right.
and apparently, there had been some cops chasing me that I did not see because I was listening to Dragon Force really loudly, so I didn't hear any sirens, and I
Right.
didn't see anybody.
Great.
And apparently, I smoked the shit out of
I
them.
think he's thinking
Oops,
deeply.
And then I pulled over for ice cream.
You pulled over
And
for
they pulled
ice
up-
cream.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody was following me. I didn't know I was getting chased.
Yeah,
If I had seen lights
I
and
will.
sirens behind me, I would have stopped immediately.
I've been there, done that. And then what?
So I stopped for ice cream, and then a cop pulled up, and he's like, "Who's driving this car?" And for some reason, my lawyer brain just fell out of the back of my head and died. And my dumbass is like, "Hey, I was driving."
Right. So you're being honest.
Should have
No,
blamed
and
that
then-
Joey Toes, man.
I should have. Anyway, then I was arrested. Right then, and then
What?
the
Why?
nipple
Why-
baby Crane was all like, "Who's driving this car?" And I said, "Me." He's like, "And who's going to
Oh.
jail for reckless evading?"
These
And then I
And
started
how-
crying, and he
how
made
would
me turn
you-
around and arrested
Wonderful.
me.
How were you recklessly evading though?
I wasn't recklessly evading.
It's acronym season.
I was driving like a pro. I was driving better than I've ever driven in my whole life. I've never driven that well, ever.
So how
For some reason, I was possessed by a speed demon.
that's what the demon does to you though.
But I wasn't gonna hold up in court as an excuse.
No.
So, I'm sorry, I was possessed by a speed demon and its need for speed.
Hmm.
Listen, Michael, you didn't tell me that car was a fucking spaceship, and if it could fucking send me whooshing into space
I
if I
told
fucking
you it goes
breathed
one.
hard
I
enough.
told you it
I
goes
didn't
180.
realize.
More often?
I didn't know what that was gonna mean,
Uh,
and how fast I was gonna get there. You know,
EMS is, I've heard we've had a lot of cases
Well,
recently.
I don't know. Whatever you did.
You can't blame it on Mike.
where
man.
they're getting.
Mm.
I'm not blaming it on him. His car
areas,
is totally super cool. And I did go
Uh-huh.
180, and I was
and
sick as
nobody's
fuck.
there.
Didn't crash into anything.
Oh, lovely.
Well,
Yeah.
now you got bit by the
See,
demon, I
don't
guess.
Get out of my ambulance.
The
for those.
D-bag.
Yeah.
The car D-bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drive around.
Although for
yelling
some
out
reason,
the
my
window,
entire
"Don't
fucking
call
trans
out that they need
was it
help, then
transmission.
Sorry for you.
No.
What's the time and fine proposal?
forgot
'Cause
the-
if
what is it-
aggravated
what do you call the
petty's already
fucking,
pretty up there.
I didn't know your shit was
Um,
automatic.
it
I'm used to
was,
driving
but-
a
I
stick.
mean, I put it up there with.
It should. You. I don't know how you fucking did that. It was just
What?
non-existing.
Feedback on it,
Wait,
such as if
wait,
there's
what do you
existing
mean?
charges that you think would already be a good qualifier.
So everything else was
Aggravated
fine.
petty. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I
but the
because
fucking
I was looking.
transmission was
I would
just
think
gone.
aggravated petty applies
The
unless you're it's
transmission was
getting to
going?
the point where
There's
you
no
want to
transmission
loop it
left.
in with
Oh.
fucking the LEO one, but
I mean,
I don't know how you managed to do that with
an
an automatic.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I kept
why.
trying to shift like it was a manual.
I mean, once again,
Oh,
a charge
that's-
exists. That's why I'm asking.
that
Like,
might
is
be
it
why.
they're going to be
Okay,
getting
my
that
bad.
charge plus the
No, you
possession
did.
of
I
it
had
as
it
their cost?
fixed.
Like,
Also,
is,
the cops drove
is
it
it to
back.
the point
I
where you're
think.
needing something in between
cops drove it
aggravated
back?
petty and the
So you're saying they
the
could have
LEO
fried
one?
it?
Yeah, they could have fucked it up. It wasn't me. It was
I
the
would say
cops.
yes.
Wait,
Fair
wait.
enough.
What do you mean it was gone?
The transmission was just completely dead. There was no like. You know how a transmission works, right? You have the plates and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every single plate was just broken.
Holding up
It
medical
wouldn't
stuff,
bite at
but
all. Like
that
it
also
was
include, like,
gone.
Aid to others as well.
Sue
I
him
think in the
civilly.
past when we,
Say sue 'em
denoted
civilly,
that,
sue
it was
cops
like
civilly. Sue 'em
Did you,
for it.
did you take
actively
pictures of the
impeding
way
it
it was when you got it?
opposed to
I didn't.
robbed in the moment.
I did. I didn't expect anything. Like I
Like, if
pulled it
someone was
out of
on a
my
scene
garage, and then it,
giving
you know there was
medical and someone rolled up to him
a
and
window
robbed them,
missing or
that's a
something,
lot
but that's about
different
it.
Than someone sees.
And then
the
as I was
EMS,
going down the
just go
highway, it just
outside.
fucking
And I
Right.
get,
poofed.
I get
Like
what
the-
you're
the-
saying.
the
Lower,
trans-
then
like, transmission was
that's,
just gone.
If it's a setup.
So
you
how
have
does
to
it drive
technically
without a
medical is
transmission?
like-
It
Yeah, it's
It
still
didn't.
not good,
Complicated,
obviously.
yeah.
it locked up
I know that
a
that is
few
a
times,
very,
and then the entire thing just
delicate
died.
Also hard
line.
to
Started
do.
smoking. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
that
if I keep
also.
driving this, I'm
I mean,
probably
the
gonna
default
die.
would just be the
It
catch-all.
was
right?
in
Yeah.
perfectly drivable condition when last I left it.
Okay, so you're saying
So-
after you left it, whoever drove it back fucked it up?
Yeah, whoever did that, whatever call that was.
God, I can't wait to go back to EMS.
Okay. Fuck. I should.
Who fucking was it?
Who drove
Who
it back?
was it?
I don't know. I don't know who drove it back.
Who freaking was it? Also, Michael,
Um,
it's Hell Life, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hmm? Hell life?
Michael talked to Mr. K with me yesterday.
Oh, so
I
he
think-
he's going through with that shit.
I'm pretty sure he will.
I guess so.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything less, really.
Yeah. Hey, we're good though.
Hopefully. Well, he seems genuinely surprised that I showed up to talk to him as well. He was like, "All right, you're showing a new side of yourself." I'm like, "Oh,
No, Michael. I think it was Bones.
that drove it
Wait, why do
back?"
you think? Why do you
drove
think
it
that?
back. Because Bones and Cornwood were both on scene, and Cornwood wouldn't fuck up cars. I feel like it was Bones, because he was particularly.
I don't think Cornwood could fit in the car though.
Right, exactly. So it had to be Bones.
I don't have Bones' number. I think.
I have his number. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I have his number.
There you go.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll give him a call.
I'm calling him right the freak now.
All right, that works too.
Did Cantor say she wasn't coming?
Yes.
She did.
Oh, then we should start,
We
huh?
should start. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? Who requested this? You're taking a timeout.
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Is Crane live?
Good morning, Starshine. There
Hello.
says hello. Hi.
Who requested this song?
Hello!
Hello.
Wason. I swear to God.
Hi.
You're taking a 1 minute timeout. 1 minute timeout.
Are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
sounds
you-
good.
Okay. Some news. Our first ever pardon reoffended the day afterwards. Unfortunate.
But for those 22 hours, how long was it, Max?
Probably not even 22 hours.
That was a
man.
good run.
For,
We
those,
had a good
for
run.
those
We had a
18
good run,
hours,
boys.
it was a good run.
Hey, look, man, you know what? Let the people not say that we are not merciful.
Well,
We
hey,
tried.
look, I stick by what I said, right? I think that if there was DNA at the time and there was better statements and police protocol and everything done, I think he would have been found guilty. But there wasn't, so I think it's appropriate to issue a pardon because it's never going to happen again because now we have DNA.
True.
And if he reoffends, then it just confirm what I thought, and I'm okay with it. Is what it is.
Yep.
Did indeed reoffend.
Some important intel based on that. Wait, never mind. I don't have anything more.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Probably going to be hearing a lot of that
Bless
yeah.
today.
Why's that?
I think there's a lot of shit exploding right now. Apparently, I think our sewers is about to collapse.
What?
Methane? Is it the methane?
I don't know what it
That's
is,
great.
but our entire sewer system is about to fucking crumble. So
All right, but I've been on a Tex-Mex
Oh,
kick
no.
with the beans and the chili. That's how it is.
that might be the trigger. That might be what kicked it
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Marlboro Reds and beans. Well, that's the result right there.
Okay. There's something that I want to bring up. How feasible would it be to get charging stations added to like Sandy and Harmony and Polito?
A lot of people have requested
Someone
those.
lock this real quick.
Because I'm
Please,
yeah.
will you lock it down?
Dakota, come on, man. You gotta Yeah, start doing stuff yourself around here.
Yeah.
How feasible is it? I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Because when I wake up and I pull out my the family car from the driveway and it's almost dead, and I have to drive all the way into the city from Polito,
Yeah.
hoping that it makes it.
Crane, what do we do?
Oh,
about
Eddie, can
this?
you speak up a
Yeah.
little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That has been a widely requested. I think that's kind of like going on the back burner of stuff that
Is it
cannot
like
happen
Yeah.
because everyone's busy.
Okay.
is that
Is what my weeb grandson would say.
how?
God, I hate him.
I really hate him too, by the way. He's the worst.
Why's that? You joined the club. Welcome.
Trying to,
Right now,
he
it's
tried,
just
thank
me,
you.
but
he tried to give my first time offending wife a driving felony.
what'd you
Oh
do?
my god.
Take a breath.
I had a skin graft, so I couldn't drive my motorcycle. So Michael so very kindly
In
lended me
Polish, I
his
think it's
car,
much for 6 months.
and I was driving it
Alright.
up north, jamming to some Dragon Force, and I pulled over for some ice cream, and then before you know it, your grandson is fucking throwing me in cuffs.
For what?
Well, first he said for reckless evading, and I just started crying. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Crane. I feel like all of my lawyer education just fucking died in that moment.
Yeah, that's
And
why you don't represent yourself.
yeah. Well, I asked for a lawyer, but I didn't remember my most important rule, which is shut the fuck up. On Shut the Fuck
Yeah.
Up Friday, no less.
So wait, why did he try to give you a felony? I don't get it.
He's such a shitstorm.
Apparently, he couldn't catch up to me.
The fuck were you driving, a rocket?
I was driving my gauntlet.
I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of car it is. What kind of car do you have, Michael?
It's a gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's a spaceship, is what it is.
Yeah, I almost had that.
It does
happen
go
once.
pretty fast. Yeah.
I was in the back 5 years ago. I seized an S++ car called a Neo from Francis J. Francer in exchange for
Ooh.
like a $8 million plea deal. And one time I was driving eastbound on Vespucci, like past MRPD, and I just full sent that bitch all the way from like the apartments on Alta, and I blew past Bison going like 140, 150, and then I got like maybe a little bit in front of him, and he wrecked behind me, and I realized he was behind me, and I just pulled over. I was like, I'm not getting a fucking evading charge. So yeah, the lesson is pull over.
Oh my god, wait, did you get a charge for that? I feel like you told the story before.
Oh
About,
no,
like,
the one they tried to charge me was Croc.
Okay, you know what
I
one
went
I was
down to
talking
the
about, the
south
one with
side
the
and
evasion.
get a bench trial.
Mhm.
Croc tried to give
Oh,
me
screw that
reckless
guy.
evading because I was driving with him, or so I thought, and he thought he was chasing me, but that was a whole other story.
Yeah, that's right. That's when I was recalling.
But I beat his ass in bench trial and got misdemeanors.
You,
Oh yeah.
you
Did you get
Dub.
misdemeanors?
He's such a
I got a
shitter.
diversion program for a first-time offender.
Wait, you didn't get an actual charge?
I don't see any charges on my MDT profile still. I'm just gonna say I had Sebastian Birch as my lawyer,
Where's the
and I really should not have done that. Sebastian is a little washed.
Oh yeah, my dumb shit grandson didn't press process. He gave you negligent driving and furious speeding.
You gonna press it for him, Crane?
Fuck no.
Please, yeah, thank you.
Nice. The system works.
Ain't my job. My job was for 18 years. I'm past that shit.
Mr. Mayor, if I want to send a pardon your way, how would I go about that?
Um,
Man, what did you get convicted of?
No, I didn't. It's somebody
What did
else.
he
that
get convicted of?
They,
Oh, sorry. You mean submit it to him?
Yes, it's somebody
I
that.
thought you were pardoning him.
No. It's somebody had a hearing today that went against them, but it's the dumbest shit, and pretty
What
much
was
every.
it?
It was, what the fuck was it again?
What's the name?
It's the Dahlia one. You probably heard about it.
what happened?
Oh. She told me about this.
Yeah, so she got. Let me check her
I
fucking.
think the entire play.
Oh, that's
Alia
Steph.
Faye?
Yeah,
How
that's
do
the
you
one.
accomplice to reckless evading?
Yeah,
What,
that's the one.
How?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, how is that a how is that?
That
a
is
what?
what she tried to get
What?
removed, but they refused.
It's a thing in her criminal history. I'll tell you that much,
What
Green.
what incident?
I don't have that info.
I don't
but
have that either.
Dakota would.
Let's
Give
find
me one
out.
sec, I have it.
Let's find out who the cop is, so we can send him for some retraining.
It's 2444.
I
Incident.
found it. Who's the cop?
Who is it?
Wyatt? Is that right?
What?
What and some other
Who's
cop.
that?
Chris Watt. He's
er,
shift 1, right?
Yeah, shift
Yeah.
3 into 1. But yeah.
Ooh, shift one.
WATT.
We love shift one
Yeah,
here.
so I will direct everyone
fans.
for an educational moment to open their MDT
Yeesh.
and now proceed to the charge labeled resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Yup.
And note where it says resisting arrest or as a passenger in a vehicle.
Yup.
Okay.
How long ago was this?
It is a while ago because she had it on the docket and they only just had the hearing today.
And, what happened in the hearing?
It was denied anything. Like she said that the charges was correct and
Who's the judge?
fuck.
It'd be on the docket, but
Okay, I'm gonna start naming female judges. Angel,
No.
Hart,
That's Gatsby.
Mm-hmm.
Gatsby. Yeah.
Mhm.
Gatsby.
It was Gatsby.
it was Gatsby. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll talk to her.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
looked
that
at the
honestly
thing.
is going to need to go anywhere because that's not anything we've ever charged accomplice to reckless evading.
That is.
I was just gonna
That'll
ask
probably
that.
just be a DOJ discussion.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
All right,
Good.
that works.
Summarily granted appeal as soon as it gets filed.
All right. Sounds good. In that case, then that was about it.
Yeah, accomplice to reckless evading. I'm pretty sure my first week 7 years ago, I was
In
told
fact, watch
it's not a
this.
thing.
Charges.
Are you just gonna remove it? So I was about to say, can we just remove it since it's not a thing?
you might as well do that for
Charges.
resisting while you're in there, Crane.
Reckless evading. Has accomplice? No. Has accessory? No. There we go.
Nice. We love to
Easy.
see that one, actually.
Now it's not even possible.
Nice.
Lovely.
Because even if you were going to charge accomplice to reckless evading for, let's say, a scenario where I were to give my car to someone in front of the police willingly,
Hmm.
and I wasn't held up or anything, and the cops wanted to charge me as accomplice because I was there, I knew it was happening, and I enabled the person to recklessly evade, you still would just charge felony obstruction.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't matter.
Michael, was she? I don't know too much. Was she in the car? Is that why she got accomplice reckless evading?
She
Like,
was,
car
but
that they were fleeing. But then that's just resisting arrest. That's not.
Yeah, and also I think from there, like from what they said, is like when she got out of the car, even though she got shot multiple times, was bleeding out in the car, and was
Wait, what?
Wait.
She got shot?
yeah, it was like a big thing.
Did they have guns?
It wasn't the cops that shot her. It was a big incident.
Oh.
She got nicked in like some crossfire between.
How do I silence my phone?
You
Click
don't.
the
Not
bell.
possible.
Take
Wait,
this
no,
out.
it's been working.
Yeah, it
For
works
me,
now.
lately.
Mine's
Oh,
been
Yeah,
silenced,
it started
yeah.
working like yesterday, 2 days ago.
All right.
Genuinely
Yeah.
surprised.
Click the little
the
bell
best news
icon
I've
in the
ever
top
heard.
right
Yeah,
on
all
your
right.
phone.
Right? I was so
Thank you.
excited.
But
I
yeah,
know. I actually got really excited too.
Okay, well, I will. Michael, can you email me the? You know what? I'll find it. I'm sure it was on the docket recently. Never mind.
I don't think.
I'll
I
just
don't
talk
think
to the
I-
judge. I'll figure
Yeah.
it
Oh
out.
Lord.
Yeah, that's our sewer system kind of collapsing slowly. So every time we hear an explosion, that's
Ooh.
probably from down there.
Oh,
Why-
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That scares me.
Ah, we don't need the sewers.
I mean, I kind of think the plumbing needs to go
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, I don't want shit on the street. That's nasty.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you know people have septic
how the
tanks,
plague
right?
happened.
Not everyone.
Well, I mean-
Are most people-
we have one though.
We
Yeah.
have one. 'cause we're
Normally
next
out
to
in
there.
the rural areas.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, let's get
what's going on?
started.
Yep.
All right.
This is like meeting 7 or some shit? Question mark.
7 or
Yep.
8, yeah.
7.
7.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to present? I know
Yes.
Michael has some shit, but let's get Nakota's stuff first.
I have quick ones. City Council document 3462. I did show Cantor this, and she's not here, so she can't vote on it. However, basically, it is no suing for welfare aid. So if a bystander or a citizen sees someone who's injured, they are not hesitant to try to help that individual for fear
So Good
of
Samaritan law.
literally, yes.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that needs to be added in here that I think would be good is that basically if like cops or EMS are on scene, then this doesn't apply, right? Like they only get this protection if there's no government emergency services on scene currently.
Okay, I think that's great.
Right.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, if they are on scene, no, they don't get to involve themselves.
Yeah, no, I don't want them pushing the EMS out of the way to divvy up their own medical. Yeah, I have no problem with that being added. Does anyone else think anything needs to be added in there?
Looks good to me.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
Is this there's no situation? Like what happens if someone what happens if one of the clowns grabs somebody off the street and says their intention is to give them medical aid, and they think giving medical aid is like putting a rubber chicken down their throat and the person gets strangled and dies? Like,
should we throw the all-encompassing reasonable some kind of statement with reasonable?
I mean, even that is
honestly, I kind of feel like it's probably just if it ever comes up, it should be heard in court.
Isn't this like also opening Pandora's box in terms of self-transport?
Yes, it also.
Yeah, I was gonna say reckless endangerment and whatnot.
Charging reckless endangerment because they can just say, "Well, it's already been declared you can't be liable for this."
I mean, you could just add something in there about transporting, but if the concern is, let's say, non-traditional medical care, then that's a.
I honestly, I think this should just be something that we handle when it comes up in a civil suit, and we can set a precedent there that is limited. Because the reason why precedent sometimes works better than written law is because you could set a precedent and say, this is not extending to every single case, but in this case, under these circumstances specifically, I don't think this person should be held liable.
Thank you so much for giving.
But it still gives us the window so that in the future, if someone does something like my clown with the rubber chicken example, then we can say, well, this is clearly beyond the previous ruling, and thus we are now narrowing that ruling to say that this is liable. And that's where I think maybe court precedent would work better than written law in something like this case. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, like
what are we at? 717.
I get wanting to, ease people's minds about helping others, especially like police officers. But I mean, EMS can provide medical like training for, officers. We used to do it back in the day. We used to have first aid, classes for the PD just to give them like what to do until we get there kind of situations. But I mean, just any person on the street, you can't really trust. People have already shown that they don't have common sense, and they'll be like, here, let me just pour some moonshine down somebody's throat, and maybe that'll help. And,
Well, let me ask this, because Malton, Nakota, even Siobhan, myself, you, Miss Treasure, we all enjoy a certain amount of benefit of the doubt from being, government workers and generally clean civilians. So most people are not going to leap to sue us over something like that.
How are we not part of that?
What do you think, Max and Mr. Deputy? You guys are probably the most likely to actually be targeted by something like this.
What I want to know, I'm just curious. What inspired you to write this, Nakota?
I think we're just having a discussion with PD, and this was suggested. I think that there are some days, and I don't know if the treasurer can speak to this a little bit as well. There are some days where EMS are low on numbers, and there are instances where PD is stretched thin and is at a lot of scenes. And I think
PD has general benefit of the doubt, right?
No, I agree. I mean, I'll be honest. If the consensus is this is identifying a problem that doesn't exist in the current moment, however, it would be better to tackle this judicially during a civil case. I'm not opposed to that argument. I was just trying to, I don't know,
I think if
incentivize people to help one another, I guess, and not be held back by
I
potential lawsuit. I
Mhm.
guess would be the way to
I don't think
articulate it.
people are. I think so. Since over the last 3 months, I've had one incident where one person talked to me about this, where they were concerned because there was an officer that was actually threatening them because they picked up their own friend and dropped them off at the hospital, and that officer was
Right.
going off about, well, you just, what is it again? What charge would that be?
Reckless endangerment.
That's the one. And
Yeah.
they were genuinely concerned about it because they were trying to save their friend, and I think EMS wasn't responding. So it happens, but it's super rare, and I feel like that would have taken that to court would
Yeah.
probably be better. It's a very rare thing, and I feel like if we do this, it's also kind of opening Pandora's box in terms of like people just self-transporting, because
Yeah.
what is anyone going to do about it?
And if it's a concern for PD, we can reach out to EMS Command, and I'm sure that they would be more than happy to do some first aid classes again. Maybe in lieu of like a shift meeting, like we used to, like once a month or once every couple of months, we would do something like that, and we would all go out there and just show them some basics.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. I'm about to keep it a stack.
Keep it a stack, please.
I self-transport whenever I can.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think personally, it is much better to leave this one open because, much
Yeah.
like self-transporting and reckless endangerment, it almost never gets charged, and it almost never has an issue.
Okay.
And I think that if and when it does get charged, it's a very interesting case. I think I've heard maybe 1 or 2 of those cases in like 8 years.
Exactly.
Okay.
I had a case
understood.
recently on it, and reckless endangerment wasn't upheld because it was, you know what I mean? The facts of the case were heard, and it was determined to not be reckless endangerment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, judges know how to do their jobs on interpreting it, like what's going on and whether
Yeah,
or
I
not
think-
somebody
Doctor's
is doing
job is not
something
irrelevant, though.
malicious.
Okay, understood. No problem.
What about the next one?
Robbery of a healthcare
Reckless.
professional. Again, I didn't put any time and fine on this because I wanted to bring it up for discussion, but we have
yeah,
had
you just straight up
several
removed them
instances
now.
recently where EMS are being requested to a location. They show up to said location, and then someone pops out of a bush and robs them for their medical equipment.
Wow.
What medical equipment specifically? Like, is it
Tourniquets,
Oh God.
bandages,
just generally just
tweezers.
everything, basically?
Yes, yes.
Mm.
What's happening with all this? Is this like a frequent thing?
It's happening. It has started happening
recently,
within the
yes.
last 2 weeks very frequently.
What are they targeting?
EMS.
Their medical supplies. Yeah.
Government medical supplies is the best way to phrase
Would that
it.
be allowed?
Yeah.
What do you
Are
think?
they
Is
like
loot
Alley
boxing?
just because
doctor
they're like
shit.
because those supplies are stronger or something?
I think if you are a civilian, as far as I'm aware, the only thing you can purchase is bandages from the doctor at the front of the hospital.
That's correct.
So if you rob an EMS, you have access to tourniquets.
IFAKs, tweezers.
There you go.
Tweezers help remove bullets.
I feel like everyone should have access to that stuff, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. What would the charge be if it wasn't this one? It would be like
Aggravated petty robbery.
Yeah. And that was my question while you were
Isn't
talking
it-
with Simone and Siobhan. Max, is this to the level where we want it to be more than aggravated petty robbery but less than the LEO one? Or is it just another fuck it, wrap it in with the LEO?
Isn't
type
it
thing
the
if it's
criminal
getting that
possession of
bad?
government issued equipment?
We're not wrapping it with the LEO.
Ah, fair
The
enough.
severity of the LEO
I
is
can't
meant
fucking-
to target guns,
Yeah.
which I think we hit the mark with the fine, but now that the rate of those robberies has dropped off from what I've seen, I was going to bring up we could even consider the time dropping a bit.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna suggest
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
agree. I was actually going
So,
to suggest that as well.
you know, like I think since we're talking minutes and hours here, thank you, Max. Makes it actually easier for me to think about this. I think probably right now it's at 24 hours. We could probably make it like 8 or something. I think it's probably more reasonable.
Anyone disagree? Question mark.
I would say if we're gonna change it, half it.
And then bring it down further if it continues to stay low.
I would be fine with that, but also biased over
I
here.
think it's 6 months. I feel like halving it would be fine, and if people still complain, then we can take a look again.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we third the robbery and half the gun?
All right.
Okay.
That fair? Because I think the
Yeah.
robbery is definitely less of the concern for me, other than the ultimate possession.
Yeah.
Because you could rob a cop and take like a spike strip, and I looked at that hypothetical this morning, and you would only get fined like possession of government equipment, which is like $2,500 in like 50 months. So, you know, the robbery itself isn't necessarily the big trigger for the deterrent, it's the gun, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's a good compromise.
All right, let me do some math on what the minutes will be, and then I'll
These ambush calls, Nakota, is it like 911 anonymous, like, hey, come to the end of this deserted dirt road type shit? Like,
They're getting 911 calls. That's how they're arriving here. They're not just getting ambushed.
How many times has this happened?
In the last 2 weeks, off the top of my head, I know there's been 7 different incidents.
that's what I'm getting at is like, there's
Whoa.
names tied to this, right? Like, there are people are 911.
If they anonymously 911.
Anonymous 911.
Anonymous 911s, yeah. Which they did.
Trust
Do
me, if I knew
anonymous
who was
911s
doing
still
those, I'd be
ping,
happy
Or
to-
did they stop? I can't remember.
I don't know about the pinging, but I do know that when they're
'Cause I know for a
anonymously
while the
911ing, they're
anonymous-
putting a location in the
Yeah.
911.
Yeah, for a while there, the anonymous 911s were not pinging, so we had to get locations from them.
Does them stealing this not fall under the category of government equipment, issued equipment?
I know IFACs are listed, but I don't know if the other stuff is.
I mean, if it's only available, well, that'd be the thing. Is I don't, Nakota, you would know. Let's just use tourniquets for example. Do they have any kind of government markings on them, or are they serialized or
Yes.
anything like that?
Splints,
Yeah, all their stuff is.
tourniquets, IFACs. No wait, splints maybe not. Splints and tweezers maybe not, but the rest of it does have our serial numbers. They're all stamped as we check them out.
I don't think.
Did you say the
splints should be
tweezers
available.
do now, Etta?
No, not the tweezers.
Okay.
What's the frequent? How many in the past couple weeks, Nakota?
7.
Oh, wow.
So one every other day, basically.
Yeah, a couple days ago, we responded to one where the person was knocked out unconscious and then robbed.
Does it stack? I don't think it does. No. Do possession of a government equipment, does that stack, or is it just a singular charge if you have any amount on you?
The
I
way
think
we've been
it's
using,
just a blanket charge.
yeah, it's been any amount,
Okay.
barring a firearm, obviously.
The only one we do independent on is the weapons attachments, because you know,
Yeah.
the more you got, the more it matters.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So
Let's see here.
It doesn't matter for this.
Sorry, what was the so what are the items that we're concerned about? Can you give me, let me hold on, let me stop myself. Can someone provide me a full list of the items under consideration for legislation? Because I have no problem with just making sure that they're added to the government issued equipment charge, and then also you know, I think we can stipulate the normal robbery charges. Does that make sense, or you think it needs to be higher?
I feel like splints and tweezers.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think they should be publicly available, but I don't think they should be government equipment either. So what does EMS roll around with?
My normal loadout is bandages, tourniquets, IFACs, splints, I do carry tweezers, but we don't use them often. That's mainly for doctors. Only in like extreme circumstances do we mess with those.
And in a general sense, sorry, if you're buying something from the hospital in this case, and the hospital is tracking it via, your serial number, shouldn't that be what's considered government equipment or not?
Well,
Yeah.
if splints are not marked, I guess they're not.
That's what I'm
government.
saying.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, that's in just a general sense. I think if the hospital feels that it's worthwhile to track these things for whatever reason, then that's what we should consider government equipment, and you could extend that to the PD armory and whatnot.
That's what I'll have to, because I know that they've changed it over time. Like they
Does
were
IFAX
adding
have
the serial numbers to more and
serials?
more equipment as time went on. So I'll have to go and check. But I know for sure that it's IFAX and tourniquets.
I think the flashlights as well now have the serial numbers on them.
Flashlights
yeah.
are already in equipment.
No,
Yeah,
no, I know.
flash.
I'm just thinking out loud about the stuff that they were saying are serialized. Chief Justice, I also, in the past, I think I emailed you a full list of what the EMS has in their armory when we updated the government equipment charge.
All right. So what? Anybody got like any directive type thoughts? Like, are you really pushing in one direction? Because I'm kind of open to just do whatever do y'all think.
I hate complicating the penal code with no charges. That's just me though. I think aggravated petty robbery is a decent charge. I mean, we're reducing the LEO one already to kind of bring it closer to that.
Sorry, Malton, you just remind me, and I'm just gonna cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to forget this, and I will forget. Since we decreased the robbery and the such of a government employee, do you guys think that that's too much for robbing like a doctor EMS?
How much? Which one?
Is it the robbery of the? Is it government? Is it law enforcement or government?
Law
enforcement.
Enforcement officer, yeah.
Are you just
I guess
asking?
that makes sense. I don't want the mayor getting robbed for $10 and somebody gets charged $10,000 in fucking 8 hours.
Yeah. To act as counterpoint to Malton, I think that the EMS deserve a certain level of increased protection and the ability to kind of retaliate in the only way that they can legally against people who are trying to gang rob them.
Thank you.
Yeah, which is why my initial thought was this, because I know obviously the law enforcement charge is what it is because of the weapons that we carry on us.
Has anyone been caught for doing this?
For robbing EMS?
Of course not.
Not that I'm aware of, no, because it's more of a, like I was saying, they knock the EMS out unconscious. They steal their shit after they've lured them out into a secluded location. And then by the time we, like the one that we responded to the other day was in Sandy.
Yeah.
So by the time we get there, they are long gone.
Where's the spice? What spice?
Are the EMS at least trying to take like basic precautions? Like I don't know if this is in training, but if I'm getting a anonymous help me in the middle of the wilderness, I'm probably not going to respond to that without backup, right?
I mean, we've always instructed people to, be cautious, don't get out of your ambulance and wander around alone if you're, you don't see somebody right away. But sometimes some people just, I don't know, they get complacent. That's the word. And they don't think anything's going to happen. We have been instructed to start doubling up. That was an announcement that was made recently because of all of this that's happening. So
yeah, but even if you double up though, like
they still get robbed. Yes.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to say. Is like what happens to the EMS who tries to like knock out a guy who like is robbing their partner? Don't they get in trouble for that?
Hey, I got a question.
What?
Why don't? Isn't the deterrent the Ego Act?
Well, if they're not catching them,
felonious violence with aggravated petty robbery, right?
They're not.
If they're not catching them, why is making a new charge matter?
They're not catching those charges doesn't matter either. But
Okay.
Personally, if I was a creative prosecutor, I'd say this is a act of felonious violence, aka aggravated petty robbery, and if you catch someone doing it in a pattern, hell, that's pretty damn good.
So yeah, I need to speak to our command to see if there's anything else that, they're doing. And I don't know. It's hard to teach people common sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously voting this in, it would be a bit of a morale boost. It will show that we like care about the EMS. But I just don't think it solves the problem. Basically, adding another charge.
Yeah. My problem is that in order to make it truly be a deterrent and truly scare people, you have to do something drastic like we did with the PD gun law. But I
Yeah.
can't justify something that drastic for what amounts to having somebody fix their leg in a bathtub.
Dakota, did Cantor give her thoughts on this one when she looked at it, or was this not written up when?
This was
You
not
talked
written
to
up
her?
at that time when I talked to her. But if you would
Okay.
like, I know obviously the treasurer's part of EMS. I
Right.
can confer with others. I do know that some of them are looking for a charge such as this, but if I mean, I guess the issue is if people are going to do this, lure them out into the open, or lure them out into a secluded area and like hit and dip, it's going to be real hard to press them with ego.
Yeah, with any charge, honestly.
I do get the logic then by saying, well, what's another charge going to do? But I think maybe the existence of the charge would at least help in a small way as a potential deterrent. If that's not the case, I'd be happy to revisit it. Or if you'd prefer, I speak to EMS and then we go forward with this.
I think that I think the most benefit we're gonna get out of passing something is maybe a slight
No. If they have to be
they
worried
care
about
about
going
us,
to
morale
any call,
boost, recognition
any
type
call
deal.
all the time, it's just gonna be ass.
Well,
I really don't know what's gonna happen.
To follow up on that, I mean, how many EMS are typically on duty at a time?
It depends. During shift 2 is when we have the most, and it can be anywhere from hell. On a good day, I think I've seen like 15 of us.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Kiki and Veronica did a huge hiring wave. And we've got a lot of people, and I know that they've been doing interviews again, bringing people in. So, we pretty consistently have probably around 6 to 8, during each shift.
Why not?
Third
They
shift, of
shouldn't, though.
course, is where we struggle.
Why
Always has
make them
been.
viable? Because then you remove
But
any reason
even
for
then,
people
we
to go
get,
to the
I
hospital.
don't know, 4 to 6 on a good day. So,
Yeah, I'm cool with revisiting then. That said, if this went to a vote, I would definitely vote this through.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
a good way
I
to
get.
put it.
I get the
you.
reasoning. I do, and as EMS, I do thank you for all of that. But if they're not getting caught, there's really nothing that. I mean, I would rather just see the ego act slap them in the face. Honestly.
Yeah, but ego act would be 3 times that they get caught, which is in itself hard.
Yeah.
At the very least, I do think that if Crane, if you're already doing this, then fair enough. But I do think anything serialized from the hospital or an armory should essentially be classified as government equipment in a general sense, whatever that may be.
I think that it sometimes is the right answer for us to hear from a problem from a council member, discuss that problem, and
not do
then
anything about it. Mm-hmm.
Encourage and facilitate conversations with people we think could address that problem better than us. I don't think this problem is solved by us, to be quite honest. I just don't. I think that Max's idea of going back to the hospital and having some frank conversations about what can be done with like training or doubling up or any idea that might work, I think is infinitely more productive than